Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the NBA Front Office Show. Hope you all had a very happy and very safe Halloween. We've got 5 games around the NBA to break down today, as we do every weekday morning. Keith, before we even dive into all that, though, I gotta say, if you and those of you listening / watching, if you haven't seen this yet, go over to Keith's Twitter at Keith Smith NBA and check out the pumpkins that Keith's wife and daughter made. Those are amazing, and just hit me right here. They were Marvel pumpkins, so they looked absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, outside of I think carrying the pumpkins in and out of the house on occasion, I have nothing to do with that. That is all the two of them. That is not where my talents lie. My very limited talent base does not include pumpkin carving at all. So yeah, they had a blast with it. Every year, my wife lets our daughter pick the theme. This year, she wanted to do Marvel, so they did Spider-Man, an Avengers one, and then the Avengers
Yeah.
logo. So yeah, so it was a lot of fun with it and everything. And I'm glad so many people enjoyed them on Twitter. Thanks for the shout out, man, here as well. I appreciate that. And it took a little bit of the sting off our daughter saying like, see ya, I'm going
Yeah.
trick-or-treating with my friends instead of with us this year. So we're out, man. We're done. We're washed and old. And now on the flip side, it allowed me to watch more basketball and the end of the Patriots game. So I'm not going to complain too
That's
much.
right. You got to see a lot of the games. I was out trick or treating with my daughter and stuff, so you got to see some of the stuff that I didn't. But yeah, the times are a change, man. They grow up fast, and next thing you know, they're going off without you. It's
My daughter is also campaigning that the day after Halloween should be a day off school,
ki-
which I can get there. Now the adult version of that is I 100% believe the day after the Super Bowl should
yes.
should be a
Uh-huh.
holiday. I have no doubt in my mind that should be a holiday. So that's yeah, because I mean that the Halloween hangover is real for these
Yeah.
kids. There's a lot of rough kids rolling back into the school this morning when I did drop
Oh,
off.
trust me, I know all about that. The day after Halloween, we never got a lot done in the classroom because the kids were always just dead tired. But they did bring in some really good candy that they would, bribe me with.
Yeah, there
Hey,
you go.
hey, if we
That's
if we
always
can eat
good.
this in class, I'll give you a piece of it. All right, let's
All
go.
right.
Deal.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's
Speaking of let's go, all
let's
right,
get
let's
into
get
the
into these
games.
games. Afternoon game. So we didn't note this yet this year. The NBA is doing something a little bit different
Hmm.
on Saturdays and Sundays. They're going to be trying to start at least one game on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern or earlier, and on Sundays at 3:30 p.m. Eastern or earlier. We know post football season, there's usually a couple afternoon games
Hmm.
mixed in there, but the reason they're doing that is for the overseas markets, especially in Europe. They're trying to get those games on for them at a time where they can see. So that got us an early Kings Mavericks game. It was actually a pretty good game too. It went right down the stretch, but pretty tight game, and the Mavs pulled it out 105-99. Luca still not hitting the 3 pointers. He was only 1 of 6 or 7 from three,
Hmm.
but did everything else: 23 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. No Kristaps Porzingis. He was out again with the
The
injury.
back.
So yeah, his back still hurt. The guy who really stood out to me yesterday, outside of Luca for the Mavs, was Frank Ntilikina. 20 minutes off the bench, 12 points, 4 out of 6 shooting, 2 for 2 from three. And if we go back, I'm kind of messing around with sample size here to get kind of almost a year-long view
Hmm.
of this. He's actually looked fairly competent as a 3-point shooter. And if he could do that combined with his defense and his improving ball handling, the Mavs have a steal on their hands with him.
Yeah, absolutely. If he can continue to provide that for them, Porzingis has got to get healthy and got to get back dealing with a lower back
Yeah,
injury already. That's not great, particularly when he's supposed to be
it's
the
always
second
something.
guy, right? I mean, he's supposed to be the
Yeah.
other guy on the Mavs, but they did pick up the win here against a Kings team that I think is pretty feisty. You do have De'Aaron Fox continuing to struggle behind the arc, just 1 for 4 from three, 5 for 14 shooting. The Kings as a team didn't shoot the ball very well, 40% from the field, 20% from three. Keith, that's one thing I guess to mention here. Around the NBA, the first couple of weeks of the season, scoring is down, percentages are down, free throw attempts are down. Is this all the new rule changes, the new foul rules?
I think it's definitely some of it. I think Defenders are being very physical. I think the NBA is definitely missing some stuff. We've heard some of the players talk about that. Things that probably should be
Uh-huh.
fouls are not being called, and think it's the new
Yeah.
rebalancing of the things with the officiating. So yeah, I think that's definitely some of it. Um, I haven't pulled the numbers, but I'd be very curious to see. Feels like a lot of open 3-pointers are being missed
Yeah.
this year. I know the Boston game on Saturday against the Wizards, they went 2 for 26, I think, in the end from three, and a lot of them were wide open misses. They missed a bunch of open shots against the Knicks on opening night too. So, and I've just noticed that kind of flipping around games. We're going to talk about that in the last one, the Lakers and Rockets. A lot of open missed jump
Mm-hmm.
shots. So yeah, that which is just weird because normally NBA guys on open jumpers are pretty money. So yeah, I don't know what it is. It's probably a combination of all of the things you
Well, and
mentioned.
3-point percentage isn't necessarily game by game the stickiest of stats.
Correct.
If you
Yeah.
look at an entire season, you can get a pretty good sense of where things are going, but it's still pretty early. So it could just be this is kind of just a downswing, a slump, or whatever across the league in terms of shooting, and then it'll pick back up as the season goes. But let's jump over to Charlotte and the Blazers, the Hornets. Looking good, man. 5-2 on the season. The Blazers now 3-3. The Hornets win 125 to 113. So there's a high scoring game there. And you know what? Our guy Miles Bridges keeps chugging right along. 19 points, 9 assists in this one,
Yeah, career high.
six boards, 3 of 7 shooting from three. I mean, looking good to get that. Long way to go, but looking good to get that new contract that he was looking for. Bet on himself, and so far he's been one of their best players.
Yeah, 4 years, 60 million is the reported offer that the Hornets capped out at, and Bridges said no thanks, and that's looking to be the wise payoff for
Mm-hmm.
him there, because I think he's going to make significantly more than that. It's we'll cover it again in depth later on in the season when we get down to it, but it's a very weak looking free agent
Yes.
class. I was thinking what we should do on that is one of our non-wrap up shows, we should do like a free agency preview, like maybe in the next week or two, and then go back and look at it
Yeah.
again later before it actually starts and be like, oh wow, we had this guy down in the rotation fringe range, and now he's up in the starter range
So
or something like that. That could be
like a
fun.
free agency big board.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost. Yeah,
I like it.
something like that.
I dig
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We kind of just how does it evolve as the year goes? Like who improves their stock? Yeah, but Bridges was
Mm-hmm.
great. Oubre moved back to the bench because Terry Rozier was back for the Hornets. Hornets were healthy for this one because PJ Washington also back. He was awesome
8 of
off the
8.
bench, 8 of 8 for 17 points. Gave them kind of an interior
Mm-hmm.
scoring presence that they don't otherwise have. But Bridges obviously is a great dunker, but he's just not a guy. He's more of a cutter
Yes.
slasher type. Yeah, you said it though. This Hornets team, they're just fun to watch. 36 assists on 46 baskets. They get that ball popping and moving and doing all sorts of stuff. They've got good spacing. LaMelo Ball finally maybe the jumper's starting to
Mm-hmm.
come around from him. So yeah, all around just a good game out of the Hornets. I think this team is for real. Their defense still, especially interior
Yeah.
defenses, leaves a lot to be desired. So they've got to figure that out. But that's something they could maybe address on the trade market down the line here. On the Portland side, Dame,
5 of
I
20.
don't know what to make of this. 5 of 20, 2 of 14 from three, just does not look good
No.
to open this season. That's been odd. Nurkic played a strong game. CJ McCollum was okay. Tried to pick up the scoring slack with Dame struggling. Anthony Simons, nice night off the bench. 6 out of 9, 5 of 8 from three. So he's really starting to develop into something. But yeah, Portland's just. I think this is going to be how it is with them all
Mm-hmm.
year. They're going to be win one, lose one. They'll probably go on a 4 or 5 game win streak at some point, which will get them clear of 500 for the year. But I just think they're going to be a very inconsistent team because it's not there. But Dame will get it going eventually. I have to believe. I can't believe it's just
He's
gone like it seems.
Yeah,
to
he's
be.
got too long of a career of showing that he's got it to suddenly just not, right? I mean, so hopefully he will
Yeah.
come back around. And again, it's still, as much as we react to everything that's happening right now, we have to remember when we step back, it's still very, very early. And so I wouldn't assume that what we're seeing right now out of Damian Lillard is just simply what we're going to see the entire
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, I'll also say too, Portland's defense
Well,
stinks.
yeah.
It's just awful. Larry Nance is supposed to improve it, and he does somewhat when he's on the floor, but he's not the guy who's flying all around or that massive rim
Yeah.
protector or something like that. He's a good defensive player. I would like to see more lineups with him, Covington, and Nurkic, because I think you can get away with it playing those three together, and they haven't done a lot of that. So I'd like to see that, because then you've now kind of got three guys who can hold their own defensively on the court, and that'll offset some of the backcourt issues. Because just right now, it's just not good, and it's not good enough by any means for Portland. So we'll see. I want to move on to Jazz and
Yeah.
Bucks,
I looked at
or Jazz and I'm doing air quotes.
Bucks. I'm looking at this game, and you know what stands out to me? Both teams are very much in regular season mode, which means the Jazz are a juggernaut, and the Bucks don't really care what's going on right now.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
The
we're
Bucks
seeing.
played without Holiday, Lopez, DiVincenzo, and
Yeah,
Ojale in this one, and then Chris Middleton was non-COVID illness, I believe, kept him out. I think that's what I saw.
and they're taking no chances.
Before the
It's
game.
regular
So,
season.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, their starting line. They started Thanasis Antetokounmpo, not Giannis, for the second straight game at center. So just
Yeah,
to give you a sense of where that's at. Giannis, of course, started, and then their starting wings were Connaughton and Allen, and George Hill are running the point. So yeah, it's just a little messy right now, but yet they kind of hang
yeah.
around because that's how good Giannis is.
And Utah did their thing. I mean, Donovan Mitchell had a nice shooting night, 10 for 18, 4 for 9 from 3, 28 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals for him, 20 for Mike Conley, only 2 assists, but 20 points, so he's chipping in there. You had some nice performances here. Jordan Clarkson, not efficient, 6 for 17 shooting, 0 of 7 from deep, but 15 points. But this is the Jazz. This is the Jazz in the regular season. They win games. They're 5-1 right now, looking pretty good. The regular season is not going to be the question or the measure of success for this team. It's going to be, can they finally prove that they're the team that can win in the postseason? Because that's been the knock on them. But I mean, we've seen why they are a good team. The question is, can they get it done on the big stage?
Yeah, they're 5-1, so they're one of what do we get? 6 teams that are 5-1 to start the season. So they're all they've raced out, and this game was played at an absolute snail's pace. Just nothing getting up and down the court really at all. In this one, just two teams that I think we think of Giannis because we see him do the rip and run where he's that blur in transition as a single man fast break, and it's that overstates. It's all I compare him to LeBron in that way, because we see those plays where LeBron takes off and he's like a freight train, but neither one of those guys really wants to play overly fast, and they shouldn't, because they have to carry such a heavy load doing all sorts of stuff. But yeah, the Jazz, we know they'll opportunistically run, but they want to keep it slow. One little interesting note from this one before we move on: Jordan Clarkson was 0 for 7 from 3. First time he's missed a 3-pointer in 100 games. He had a 99 game streak of making at least one 3-pointer going on, and I think I loved his attitude after. He's like, "Oh well, start a new one."
That's a shooter's mentality.
That's Jordan Clarkson, right, to a T right there. The next one's always going to go in. So, not a lot to say on that one. Really, not much to say on this next one. As far as the actual basketball, the Nets destroyed the Pistons. Cade Cunningham did not play for the Pistons. He made his debut the other night, but he is the puppy is sleeping.
He's like, dreaming,
whining
chasing
in his
rabbits.
Sleep. He's dreaming. So, and he's like hugging his toy. Aww. So he's really got something going on here. But he back to basketball. Cunningham's going to sit out the second half, or at least one half of back-to-backs for the foreseeable future. They said they didn't really put a time limit on it. They did say fairly short term, so I'm guessing maybe for the next couple of weeks. They're not going to push him, so he did not play, and the Pistons themselves did not play. It was a pretty terrible. The Nets just outclassed them in all ways, except Kevin Durant had enough of Kelly Olynyk.
Through an elbow.
At a point in this, yeah, threw an elbow and got tossed, and should have been tossed out of the last game after he threw the ball in the stands. The NBA came out
That's right.
after, fined him, and the official said he should have been tossed. So this is 2 in a row. I wonder if maybe the pressure of having to do so much early in the years maybe kind of got him annoyed and a little bit on edge. So a good James Harden game, triple double, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, 6 of 9 from the field. So in 29 minutes.
Yeah.
So no Nets player played over that. That was the highest number of minutes. So just a runaway blowout for Brooklyn.
Why don't we jump to the Lakers and the Rockets to cap things off here? You mentioned before we even came on the air, not a pretty game. Not a pretty game
awful
at all in terms of efficient scoring. Neither team shot the ball particularly well. The Lakers 41%, the Rockets 42%, 21% from deep for the Rockets, 29% for the Lakers, 52% at the free throw line for the Rockets, 61% at the free throw line for the Lakers. Again, nobody shot well. If you follow them on Instagram at all, you saw some of the Lakers happen to go out the night before. Maybe that was a factor here, but the Lakers do win 95-85. Lakers put out a new starting lineup. No DeAndre Jordan. Dwight Howard was out with neck stiffness, so DeAndre Jordan moved to the bench. Avery Bradley went into the starting 5. Sounds like that might be something they're considering moving forward, even when Dwight gets back. We'll have to see what happens there. Nice night for Russell Westbrook. He was 20 points, 8 boards, 9 assists, 9 for 22 shooting, 2 of 4 from deep. So you'll take that from him. And LeBron and AD, 16 points and 15 respectively. Kind of put in their typical performances. Didn't shoot particularly well, but otherwise did kind of LeBron and Anthony Davis type stuff. On the Rockets, look, Christian Wood, solid, 13 boards, 16 points. Kevin Porter Jr. had a few nice moves out there, 13, 9, and 4. And then Kenny Martin Jr., a really nice dunk on a lob from Kevin Porter Jr., 12 points, 4 boards.
Yeah, I like
He's
him.
good.
I want to see him play more for Houston. I know it's tough because they've got kind of a crowded front court with Tice Wood and Schengen, but there's room for KJ Martin to get in there. He's bouncy, he's super athletic. One other thing, I don't think maybe you mentioned it. I apologize. I was looking, and we'll talk about this in just a second. A little bit of breaking news from Shams, but Melo, 23 points off the bench. He second strong game for him. Thought he looked really good there. So we're getting the final option news flowing in here.
I'm seeing that.
Rookie scale team options. So we'll talk about those in just a minute. The Rockets, 25 turnovers. I mean, come on. Like, that's not – you're never going to win a game doing that. I mean, just threw the ball all over the place. It was just a complete mess. There were times, too, and this is not to take away from the Lakers' defense, because I thought the defense for the Lakers looked better with that opening group than it has looked. But, I mean, the Rockets are, there's plays where there's nothing the Lakers did to impact them. They're just throwing it into the 10th row. Like but they're young, they're excited, they get hyped up. Jalen Green, another rough game for him. I thought Avery Bradley did a pretty good job of kind of locking into him and taking him out of the game. I also think too, when you have Davis back there, and then you have Bradley and Bazemore kind of can lock in. That allows LeBron and Russ to play that, kind of roaming free safety a little bit. And I think that suits them both a little bit more. So I kind of liked that look from the Lakers. Even if that's not the starting group going forward, I'd like to see them pull the plug earlier on the bigs. And go to this group with Davis at the 5 more often.
And there's a familiarity there with Avery Bradley on the floor because they had him a couple seasons ago. So him being the guy to slide in to provide an extra wing makes a lot of sense. Even if he is on a non-guaranteed deal that they just picked up the day before the season officially started, there's still that familiarity there, and you can see that exactly plug and play. Again, you mentioned Carmelo Anthony, 4 blocks, tied a career high there for Melo, so that's impressive from him.
Yeah, Melo's looked good. He's looked springy, bouncy the last couple of games. He's but this is going to be what happens with him, right? He's going to go through these stretches where he looks really good for probably 2-3 weeks at a time, and then he might kind of disappear a little bit. Your hope is on this team, they've got enough depth. So on those, when he's gone for a week, it's just not gone, but what I mean, doesn't play well for a week. You can get past it. There's not a lot to say on the Rocket side. We talked about KJ Martin. Schengen looked good again. again, I want to see more with him and Wood together. Lineups with those two. That we're starting to get some of it, but I just want to see more of it. Tice struggling. He's not. The AD's a really bad matchup for him too because he's going to defend him
Yeah.
on the move a lot. So yeah, I don't have a lot. I mean, this is just what the Rockets are.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be this way all season
What
long.
is up with Schengen's free throw routine?
Yeah, it's weird.
Is weird. Like he holds the ball and rolls it, like almost like he's breathing on the ball. Like it's. I
don't know.
I had to even point it out to my wife. I said, "Look at it. It looks like he's like gonna kiss the ball or something, or he's breathing on it, or I don't. It's strange. I don't know what to make of that."
It's like maybe he's doing the Happy Gilmore.
That's it.
Like, come on, ball, go in your home, go in the hole.
Are you too good for your home?
Yeah, well, he's good, man. I like him. He's gonna be really good. Just really, he knows how to play. Like you can just see it. Super aggressive too, going to the boards and stuff. He's, I really enjoy him so far. He's been other than Jalen Green, kind of when he's had the explosive points, and I've always been a big Christian Wood guy. Schengen's been my favorite part of that team. I really like him quite a bit.
All right.
All right, you want to do a little breaking-ish?
Yeah,
news?
you ready to laugh at the Suns a little bit?
Yeah. So let's start there. So Jake Fisher reported earlier this morning that the Phoenix Suns are picking up the 4th-year team option for Cam Johnson. Today's the deadline. All rookie scale team options have to be today. It's normally October 31st, but because that fell on a weekend, it's that moves to today. So the Suns picked up Cam Johnson's no-brainer.
Yeah.
Jalen Smith's not getting picked up. Jake said they have yet to do the same, and then Shams chimed in a little bit later with this. The Suns are not going to do that. So a year plus in for Jalen Smith, and they're already moving on there in Phoenix. That is not a very good sign. That is poor
asset management.
Just and it looks even worse when Tyrese Halliburton was the next pick in the draft behind. I do wonder now that puts him fully in the trade position for the Suns, because what happens, I don't think we've covered this. What happens when you decline a rookie scale option? It is the player's cap hit or cap hold for the next year caps out at whatever the option amount was, and that's the max you can pay them. That's how you close a loophole from declining it and then resigning them for more, $25 million. Right. So in this case, the most Phoenix can pay Jalen Smith will be $4.7 million. So even if he does go on to play well and break out, it's a little tougher. The last time we really saw that come into play was with Kevon Looney and the Warriors. The Warriors, now you can sign him to a long-term contract off of that, but it's just that starting salary of $4.7 million. So we'll see. That's disappointing. For the Suns for me than it is for Smith, because I thought he had shown enough with this. So
I mean, Shams puts mentions it here in preseason. He averaged 10 points, 8 boards in preseason. Like it's not,
and it's strong summer league.
And he was really good in summer league. Like he looked like he didn't belong in summer league. He was good enough to, and summer league doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, I know, but he's shown flashes, and at that price range, to me, it just doesn't make sense. If you're Phoenix, why not, even if you have your doubts about him, why not give yourself a chance to be right? Now you're just, you've locked in that, hey, we blew it. We were wrong. Like,
agreed.
No reason for that.
And this just smacks of being cheap, too. Because now next year they can replace him with a minimum contract guy or whatever they want to do. So, So I don't like that. I will also say, this too, we talked about the handful of options that are left. Yesterday's show, the Boston Celtics have picked up Grant Williams and Romeo Langford. Just expected to be a matter of time. That Aaron Nesmith and Peyton Pritchard will also be picked up. That's kind of always been a lock. The Rockets will pick up Kevin Porter Jr. at some point today, and then Jarrett Culver is not going to be picked up. The Grizzlies reporters already had reported on that he would not be picked up. So Culver and Smith are the only two this round which is good for the league. Smith becomes the first guy from the 2020 draft class to have his option declined. Everybody else had theirs picked up. As they move into their this is again the third year options. These are all for next year, 2022-23, with that. So but yeah, so there we are. A little bit of option news, so we'll just be waiting on those last few here by the end of the day. But generally, teams do them all in batches, so we'll hear all this here pretty soon. But yeah, just the Suns, bad luck all around. Really don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for them. And again, I know they have two bigs ahead of him with Ayton and JaVale McGee, but I mean, a $4.7 million. It's not like he was making, like 12 million or something like that. Like if he was a top pick or something, and then, okay, this is going to be a big tax payment or whatever. It's just at 4.7 million. Come on. I mean, you're not going to find somebody better at that dollar amount. And just, you've already, again, it's locking in. You've locked it in. We were wrong. That's it. That's the way you're going with this.
Yep.
So
yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense.
Quick question for you. Did you see the new
jerseys? I did.
This morning. What do you think? What do you think of the Lakers?
To me, you know what? The problem for the Lakers is you can't top the Black Mamba jersey. That one was so good. They came right out of the gates with that. That's my favorite Lakers jersey ever now. That one was so excellent that every other jersey they put out, even if they're pretty good, kind of pales in comparison. But I didn't mind it. It's not like it's oh my gosh, I have to go and get this jersey right now, right?
Sure.
But it was pretty solid. It's not a bad jersey.
I like the shorts
a
lot. I think the shorts are pretty sharp with the kind of sky bluish piping on the side and the white and sky blue striping there with the purple background. So I'm very much with both the Lakers and Celtics. Their base set are both so good. And they're so classic. I just don't like a lot of stuff. Now, you're right. I do like the Black Mamba ones. I do like the Lakers Sunday whites. I think those are always pretty sharp. I actually don't hate the Celtics black and green alternates. But yeah, the Celtics new ones in general, they look pretty good. But the back, so they used to have on their warm up jerseys. Like when I was a kid, it was a block white with the name in the back. They did that, but it's underneath the number, and I don't like that look at all.
Oh yeah, I don't like that
garbage. I hate that.
I'm not a fan of that.
But for the most part, I think they look pretty good. That Miami Heat, I get what they were going for, but it looks like a ransom.
It does. It looks like a ransom note. I agree. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. I'll tell you the ones I really like. I think the Sacramento one looks pretty clean. I'm a fan of that one. The
shorts there.
Yeah. Too. The Charlotte jersey, I like a lot. I like the fade that it's got on it.
That one's really good.
The Clippers jersey looks like a Flint Tropics jersey.
Where'd the orange? The orange must be
the Braves and all that. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Braves. I see it, and I see the little the cool thing is the little it's not really a belt buckle. I don't know what you call that on the shorts. For all these is basically a throwback logo.
Right.
For a lot of them, which is really cool. The Wolves are really good.
I like the Wolves one.
It instantly made me think of KG.
Absolutely. Yep. The Suns just rolled it back with the Valley jersey. And that's a great jersey. That's a great jersey. So no problems with that.
I like the Nets ones.
The Nets ones.
I know some people are hating on them, but I think those are sharp. I really like the which one was it? Oh gosh, I'm scrolling through now, losing my mind.
Those of you watching, obviously, you can't see these. Probably just pull up the picture on social media, and you can see all of these.
It's all over social media. You can see all these if you're listening to this as well. I really thought the Wizards ones I think look pretty good. I'm not generally a fan of horizontal stripes, and this is not just me showing love to the home team here. I like the Magic ones. I like that they're mixing in the orange there. I know a lot of people seem confused. It's not a Magic color. Yeah, that's
what I'm confused
But that's a color that's very ingrained here to Central Florida because the citrus industry is so big. I was honestly hoping they were going to have a full orange uniform this year, but
my challenge from afar is I read it, and when I see that, I read Suns. Like when I see orange. And so that's the only challenge. But overall, as a jersey, I like it. I like the way it's kind of like the Dwight Howard Magic jersey, like from that era,
with the pinstripes,
but just orange. And I like the stripe down the side too.
Yeah, and then the Hornets. I love the Hornets jersey. The shorts are there's a lot going on in the shorts. That one I've got a little bit of trouble with. The Celtics, I will say the last thing that is kind of neat is you'll never probably see this part because they'll be tucked in. But when they're tucked in or when they're untucked, they have all the retired
Hmm.
numbers in the retired
Oh,
number
cool.
banner form, and then underneath the like size patch, they have they have a little 4-leaf clover for each of the championships. So that's kind of fun
What's
too.
the
So I
what's the
think
worst one? Which one is the worst?
the worst one for me, I really
Yeah,
hate the
I keep
Miami
going to that
ones.
too.
I know what they were doing. Like I guess to get that they were doing a mashup of all their other things. So I really don't like those. And OKC's like, good lord, like it's white on white. I guess it's gray on
Yeah,
white. Like those are
yeah,
horrid. Like I think they're awful. Plus, it makes the stupid ad patch just stand
it
out
really
even
does.
more because it's like gray on white, and then that ad patch just jumps off the page. So, like, yeah, OKC overall, their whole uniform, everything, the aesthetic around that whole thing is we're uh, treading into Zach Lowe territory here, but it's just bad. I don't like any of their stuff.
Yeah.
Portland's are cool too with the Rip
Hmm.
City. They look good, and they've got the red down the one side and stuff. Little again above the size patch, City of Roses. A little note to Portland there. I think the Bulls are pretty good. The Cavs are interesting. It's just a
I'm
very old
I'm not a
school
fan of the
Cavs
Cavs
logo.
one. I don't know, but then
Yeah,
but to just be it might just be me. Some other people might like this. I've never been a fan of the color, the multicolor color. I
yeah, I don't
haven't
like
been a
that
fan of
either.
that. Even when that was
Yeah.
years ago when they did that, I wasn't a huge fan of it back then. So
Yep.
that's probably part of why I'm not a big fan of that jersey. But yeah, I agree. The Miami one is like, okay, we're supposed to honor our past. Let's just put all of them together. Let's do
Yeah.
that. Like
And it hurts with Miami because the
it was
Vice
so
uniforms
good.
were so
Yeah.
good. They were so good, both the pink and the sky
There were
blue.
fans of other
Like they
teams
were just
getting
so
Heat
good.
jerseys just because they liked the look, because looks so good, And
Yeah.
now they've gone that direction. So that's certainly disappointing. I don't know if you guys, if those of you out there watching this, fire it off in the comments section. Let us know what jerseys you like the best and which one do you think is the worst. I'm probably voting Miami as the worst right now. The
Yeah.
Clippers with the Flint Tropics vibe, I give them a little bit of a mention there too, but I think it's the Miami one.
Yeah, the Miami one I'm gonna put just ahead of OKC's because I understand what the Heat were going for. But the OKC ones, there's nothing
Yeah,
there. That's the
that's true.
least imaginative thing I've ever seen. Like I just hate it.
Yeah.
And I get it that they would never do a Sonics one, but like, good lord, like give me a Sonics throwback
Wouldn't that be
instead.
great?
But I fully understand
They
that
yeah,
that's
they
not
can't
not a
they can't
thing.
do that.
So
But yeah, like imagine if you're OKC, if you had made that stripe, I don't know, what if they had made that stripe orange or a navy blue
yeah,
or something
mixing some
something like
color.
that. Then I think it
Yeah.
would have really popped. But as it is, it's just kind of meh. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, yeah, not a fan. So, all right. Well, that was thrilling
Yes.
radio for anybody, just listening to this because you can't see it. But yeah, they're all there. It's the NBA account has tweeted
Hmm.
them. Every reporter has tweeted all of them out by now, and I think all the team accounts
Yes.
have tweeted them this morning too. So you can definitely, get there and find all
And I'll say
those.
this now with this one out, probably not. I haven't looked myself, but probably not a bad time to go check to see if there's any deals on last year's City Edition
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a good point.
That's I bet
Yeah.
there's some
Oh,
discounts
I
on
mean,
those.
I'm also gonna say too, if you're over the age of like 25, like you probably shouldn't be wearing basketball jerseys. That's just unless you're playing basketball.
Well, I mean, you can get
That's
this
my own
this shirt in
personal
that
opinion.
style or
Yeah,
whatever, things like
jerseys
that.
you
Yeah,
get like those are fine. Just who looks good in a basketball
I do.
jersey?
I
Really?
look fantastic in a
Okay.
basketball
All
jersey,
right.
Keith. I
All right.
wear no, actually, I've
I'm gonna
got
give it to
I
you.
get jerseys, and then every time I get a jersey, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wear this, and then it winds up
And
sitting
then
in my closet, and I don't wear them that
yeah,
often. Once,
because then you got to find the right shirt to wear underneath
ex-
it, right? Because I don't imagine you're just rocking a jersey by itself. But yeah,
exactly.
that's my. I don't know. That's just my little thing there. So
All right. Well, why don't we
we lost
why don't
this
we
one. We
wrap
went
things
off
up
the
on that
rails.
before we go any further off the rails? But front office listeners and viewers, let us know your thoughts in the comment section over on YouTube. Make sure you do subscribe. Don't forget to turn on notifications as well. We certainly appreciate all the support that we've been getting here. And yeah, we're going to keep on rolling. We're going to do some videos pretty soon on the best contracts in the NBA, the worst contracts. We'll look ahead to free agency. We'll talk a little bit about the trade market, what that's looking like. A lot of stuff coming up. So make sure you do subscribe and don't forget to turn on those notifications as well. Till next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.